Okay, today we're going to review how to approximate real numbers, or how to approximate a number to a certain place value. So first, why don't you take this note in your notebooks? We're just going to remind ourselves of our place value. So I'm going to draw some spaces. Now over here, this would be my whole number, and out this way are my decimals. So a really easy way that I do this is I put a 1 underneath my decimal, and then each place value I put a 0 under, and that tells me what place it is. So this makes a 10, so this is the tenths place. This makes 100, so this is the hundredths place. And this is 1,000, so this is the thousandths place. So if you put a 1 underneath the decimal, it's a little trick. However many zeros you need to make that number, that's the place value. So we have, here's our decimal, our whole number's on the left. This is the tenths. This one is the hundredths. And this one is the thousandths. And the fourth one would be the 10 thousandths, and so on. So that's a reminder of our place value. Why don't you take that note in your notebooks? Place value of decimals. Okay, let's say for example we need to approximate the decimal 1.3875 to the nearest tenth place. So I'm going to look at the tenths place, which I see is right here on my place value. So this is my number in my tenths place. I need to figure out whether that number is going to stay the same or if it's going to be rounded up. So I look at the number next to it. If this number is above a 5, it rounds up. If it's below 5, I stay the same. The 5 is included in this. If it's 5 or up, I round up. If it's below 5, it stays the same. So I'm looking at this 8 right here, and that is above 5. That means that number bumps up this 3 to a 4. So when I'm then approximating to the tenths place, this number right here would become a 4 because the 8 bumped it up. So my approximation to the tenths place of 1.3875 would be 1.4. And that would be my approximation to the tenths place. Now we're going to use the same number to approximate to the hundredths place. Okay, my hundredths place, that's my second decimal out, so that's right here. So I'm looking at the 8. Now in order to see whether the number in my hundredths place is going to stay the same or be rounded up, I look at the number next to it, and it's a 7. So remember my rule, if it's 5 or above, my number is going to round up. If it's below 5, it's going to stay the same. 7 is above 5, it's 5 or above, so that's going to bump up this 8 to the next number up, which is a 9. So when I approximate this number to the hundredths place, I get 1.39. That 7 rounded this 8 up to a 9, so my approximation for this would be 1.39. Now my problems are going to get a little bit more tricky because now I'm going to actually be using irrational numbers. So if my problem is to approximate the square root of 17 to the nearest hundredth, I'm going to need to first find what the square root of 17 is on my calculator. Now here's my square root key, but as you can see, the square root symbol is actually on top of the key. So in order to get that key, I'm going to press the blue button second, and then my x squared key, and that'll give me my square root sign. And inside my sign, I will type in 17 and hit enter. Why don't you do this along with me? 17, enter, and it gives me a decimal of 4.1231056, and it goes on because it's irrational. Now I need to estimate this or approximate it to the hundredths place. So I'm going to circle the hundredths place so I know what the last number is going to be, and that's right here. My hundredths place is my 2. Now remember, I look at the number next to the hundredths place to see whether my 2 is going to stay the same or round up. So I'm looking at the 3. Now the 3 is below 5, which means it doesn't bump this 2 up, it's going to keep the 2 the same. So when I approximate it then to the hundredths place, my 2 stays the same, and I'm just going to write out my number until I get to the hundredths place, which is 4.12. That's my approximation of the square root of 17 if I'm rounding to the hundredths place. Why don't you write this one in your notebooks? Okay, the next problem I'm going to try is the square root of 55, and I need to round that to the hundredths place. So here's what it looks like, square root of 55. First I need to solve that square root, so I'm going to use my calculator again. After I turn it on, I'm going to need this square root key, but because the square root symbol is blue, I need to press my blue button first. So second square root symbol, and then I'll type in my 55, and when I hit enter, it's going to equal to 7.4161984887, and it'll go on and on. Now I'm going to need to approximate this to the hundredths place, because that's what my problem said. So I'm going to first find the hundredths place. I'm going to re-show you my place value like this. You can put lines under the numbers, put a 1 under the decimal, and put zeros out until you make 100. There it is. So my hundredths place is right here, the 1. Now I hope you can still see the 6 next to it, because that's the number I'm going to look at to see whether my 1 stays the same or gets rounded up. Now, is 6 greater than 5 or less than 5? It's greater than 5, so the 6 is going to round that 1 up to the next highest number, which is 2. So my approximation then will be 7.42, and that's my approximation to the hundredths place for the square root of 55. Make sure you have these notes in your notebook. Okay, and I have 2 for you to try, and I need you to write these out in your notebook. First, write out what the entire square root is equal to, well, the decimal that the calculator gives you, and then I want you to approximate each one to the tenths place. So the first one is, well, the second one will be the hundredths place. So the first one is square root of 5. I want you to approximate to the tenths. And then the second one is square root of 7, and I want you to approximate to the hundredth place. And I'd like these 2 written in your notebook, the full decimal that the calculator gives you first, and then approximate to each place value that it asks you for.